Hi, everyone, and good evening. I hope everyone's doing amazing. I'm Yael Brudner. I'm an immigration attorney here, and I am coming to you live from Orange County, California, Southern California, here to answer your immigration questions. I am live on Facebook and on YouTube, and I go live every week, every Thursday at 5:30 Pacific. I am here to answer your guys' immigration questions. We get questions sent over to us during the week, and I am excited to bring some of those to you. I picked the questions I think that would most be interesting for you guys. But if you have questions, if you're watching now live with us and you have questions, please feel free to send me your questions, write them in the comments, and I will try to get to them. I promise that if I don't get to them today on the live show, that I will definitely read them and respond to them later. So if you are watching the recording of this live session, you can still send us your questions. Okay. And I promise I will get back to you. Just a quick note that the information today is general information. So it is not considered legal advice. But if you do want to get legal advice specifically about your case, I'm happy to meet with you and have a consultation and really go deep into your specific situation. Okay. And if you're interested in getting more messages and notifications about our live events, to hear news about immigration, updates, and immigration, everything immigration, please follow us, subscribe on YouTube, or follow us on Facebook to receive updates and news and to get invitations for these live shows. So thanks, guys, so much for joining today. And I am just going to jump in the questions. Okay. So there's a question here on Facebook. My husband withdraws my I-130 petition. He applied for a divorce. My question is, how can I stay in the US until my divorce gets finalized? So thank you so much for your question. I know it's a lot to go through an immigration case, to have an immigration case pending, and then to have the petitioner withdraw the petition. So there might be an option for you to continue your case without your husband's assistance, okay, without having him involved at all. Okay. And what I recommend is to reach out to us because it is a really specific and a little bit personal matter. So please reach out to us and let's have a consultation. And I will review with you the options of you to continue as a self-petition. Okay. Basically applying for your green card by yourself and for yourself without your husband's assistance. Okay. And even if he files for divorce. So there are options, and I would love to talk to you. If you can reach out to us, you can actually call right now. The number is here on the screen. 714-794-9366 is our number. You can call and book a consultation even right now if you want, or later. I'd love to talk to you more and help you out. Okay. Yes, VAWA. VAWA is one of the ways that you can do it, and we would review that. Doesn't apply to everyone, but if it does apply to you, it's a really good option. If you're saying now that you do not want to stay in the US, well, that's something else. So what would be your goal? Just to stay for a little bit more, or what would be your goal? So it is a unique situation. It's very personal. So reach out to us. Let's have a conversation. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to jump to the next question. I am currently on DACA and married to a US citizen. What are my options? This is a really great question, and we get it a lot. For those of you that don't know, DACA stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, and it basically is an option for folks that came into the U.S. Lawfully or unlawfully when they were really young, didn't really have control over decision of coming to the US. And if you're on DACA, then you receive protection from deportation and you receive a work permit here in the United States. Okay. And you can renew it right now. The the kind of the fate of the DACA program is uncertain, but right now it is available for renewals if you already have DACA. So what happens if you have DACA and then you get married to a US citizen? So if you are married to a US citizen, your US citizen spouse can, generally speaking, petition you for the green card. And then you would have to go to the next step. The next step would be applying for your residency based on this petition. Now, generally speaking, if someone did not enter with inspection or did not enter legally, you would have to leave the country to do your immigrant visa processing abroad in your home country. For DACA, there is an option to apply for something called advanced parole. If you apply for something called this advanced parole and you do leave on parole and come back, then you most likely would be eligible to apply for the green card in the United States through adjustment of status, through a different process in the United States, which is a quicker process, requires less paperwork, less waivers, and it's really a good option. So if you're on DACA and you're married to a US citizen, I really encourage you to schedule a consultation, an appointment with an immigration attorney to see if you might qualify for advanced parole. And if not, then you can continue the regular route, which is the immigrant visa processing and perhaps a waiver if you need it. Okay. So DACA can definitely help you if you're married to a US citizen. So reach out and I'd love to help you. Okay. Okay, perfect. I am just reviewing the questions. Thank you everyone for joining us today and dropping your questions in the comments. Let me just review some of these questions. Okay. Hi, Jose. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. Okay, Heather is asking about petitioning her brother to the United States. Heather, you're a US citizen. You definitely can petition your brother. The issue with sibling petitions is the processing times. Unfortunately, they are extremely, extremely prolonged and can take anywhere between 15 to 20 years right now, just for your brother to have a green card available for him. So definitely it's something that I would recommend doing, petitioning for your sibling, putting in that petition. However, it wouldn't be an immediate option for him. He wouldn't be able to act on it immediately. Jose, yes, you can, if you want to make an appointment, you can reach out to us and we'll get back to you, okay? Heather, if he can stay in the United States while waiting, unfortunately not with the current law. Part of immigration reform, what we were hoping would pass in the start of this administration was there was a suggestion in that reform to have folks with very long wait periods to be able to wait in the United States. This is not the law right now. It might be in the future, and that's why I usually recommend to put in a petition for your brother. Just put it in, file it. It's going to sit somewhere for a very, very long time in immigration, but laws can change. They might be, get things to move quicker. They might be able to allow for family members to enter the United States to wait at some point. And also time goes by really quick. In terms of visiting the United States, he would need a tourist visa. Okay, so he would need to apply for a tourist visa. Usually, it's not a problem. You can apply for a tourist visa at the same time that you have an I-130 or a green card petition pending because of the extensive and crazy wait times. Okay, so if he has a visa, he would be able to visit, and if not, he would be able to apply for a tourist visa. Okay. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for the questions. If you're joining right now, feel free to write a question and I will try to get to it as I go. And if you're watching the recording of this, it's also okay to write a question and I will answer it on when I see it. And if you're interested to have a personalized conversation or consultation with me, our information is right here on the screen. We'd love to help you. Okay. Oh, this is a good question. How much do I need to invest for the E2 investor visa? So E2 investor visa is one of my favorite visas. It is a visa that's available to certain countries, nationals of certain countries that have a treaty with the United States, so that have a special agreement. Right now, I think it's about 75 countries worldwide have this agreement with the United States. And basically, the E2 visa allows someone to come to the United States to live and to work here if they've made an investment in a US business. And the law actually does not say what the minimum investment is. So there's no minimum investment. However, you do need to show that you've invested a substantial amount. What is substantial? It differs between business and business. Ideally, we would want you to have at least about $100,000 to invest here in the United States in a US business, in your US business, either a new one that you're establishing or an existing one that you're purchasing. And however, that is not set in stone. We're able to help clients with an investment that is a lot lower than 100,000. So if you have initial funds and you are interested in investing in the United States and working here and living here, E2 is a really, really good type of visa. Okay. Next question. My mom wants to become a citizen, but she's worried about the test. Is there a way she can become a citizen without having to take the test? So yes, part of the naturalization process, so part of the process of becoming a citizen here in the United States involves a test. You are tested in English, writing, reading, speaking, and you are also tested in history and civics. So it's part of the process. A lot of people are nervous about it. It doesn't matter how old you are, people get nervous when they hear that there's a test. There is a way, there's certain circumstances where people can receive an exemption of this test. First of all, if there's a medical reason, if there is a medical disability or reason why someone might not be eligible to sit for a test, then you can ask for an exemption, a medical exemption through a doctor. So a doctor would have to write a letter to explain why your medical situation would prevent you from sitting for this test and taking the citizenship test. And also, there's an exemption if you have been in the United States for a long time and you're above a certain age. So, if you are over 50 and you've been a resident for 20 years, or if you're over 55 and have been a resident for 15 years, then you are exempt of the English test. You don't have to do it because you've been here for so long. If you're 65 and have had your green card for 20 years, then you actually are both exempt from the English test and you get a simplified version of the actual test. So instead of 100 questions that you need to study, the simplified version is only 20 questions. So if your mom can either qualify for the medical exemption or the age and amount of time with a green card exemption, then she can do the process without the test or the simplified version. But if not, then she will have to sit for the test. It's part of the requirements. But there's a lot of materials out there, and we are very happy to support anyone that wants to take the test and is a little worried to give you guys extra support for that. So if you're interested, please reach out. We actually offer free naturalization citizenship evaluation. So if you are a green card holder or you have a parent or a family member that's a green card holder and you are considering filing for naturalization, you can call us and we can schedule you a free citizenship eligibility consultation. So just to confirm that you're eligible and answer any questions you might have on the process. Perfect. Um, Heather's asking about the E2 for your brother. Yeah, so an E2 investor can definitely bring with him his spouse and his children up to age 21, right? So we can have a conversation to discuss options for your brother. The green card petition would be maybe the final goal, but maybe there are different temporary options that he would be eligible for. The E2 is an investor visa. It's a non-immigrant visa, so it doesn't lead to a green card, but you can definitely renew it indefinitely, meaning you can renew it again and again and again, as long as you still meet the requirements. Mhm. Okay. Jumping to the next question. Thank you guys for sending us all these great questions this week. Can I petition my mother-in-law for a green card? I'm currently petitioning my wife. So, unfortunately, you cannot petition your mother-in-law directly. There's no category of son-in-law to mother-in-law category. However, you can petition once your wife becomes a citizen, then she can petition for her mom. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit longer, but it's not an option to file directly, to petition her directly. Okay. Okay. Next question. My dad was deported. However, he's been in Mexico for 15 years. Can I petition him? Okay. So I'm assuming that you're a US citizen and you were born here and you're over the age of 21. And you want to know if you can help your father with a petition. Your father was deported before, so he has immigration. He's been here in the United States and he has an immigration history. So anytime you want to apply again after having deportation or any previous immigration violation, it's a really good idea to have a consultation with an attorney and review the history, the immigration history, to learn more about what was the reason that your dad got deported, and is there anything that still makes him ineligible to come to the United States as a resident, right? So certain criminal convictions could make you ineligible for life, and it doesn't matter how long you are outside of the country. In other situations, the passage of time does cure your immigration violations. So if it was a deportation without any criminal matters and it was only one deportation, then there is a great chance that he's been outside of the United States for enough time, and you can start the process and you can petition him for sure. So I would recommend to schedule a consultation, really get a good history, have your dad on the phone or on the call, so that your dad would be able to give the important information about his case and about his situation to the attorney, to get a good review. And yeah, we're here. We're happy to help if you want to call us for a consult. And thank you to everyone that's joining on Facebook and on YouTube. It's really good to see you guys here. Please let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to write them down on the comments. If you don't want to share your question publicly, you can also send us a direct message. And we will love to reach out to you also that way. Awesome, Heather. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, please call us. We'd love to talk to you. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to pick a couple more questions out of the ones that were sent today. And again, if you have questions, I'm going to be here for a little bit more time today, so please feel free to write them down. Okay, I need to file for my 10-year green card. The problem is my wife and I have separated. I'm not sure what to do. Can you help? Okay. So the situation is common. It's common. The situation is that you most likely got your green card through marriage. Your marriage was a newer marriage, so at the time that you got your green card, you were married for less than 2 years. So you received what's called a conditional green card that is only valid for 2 years. The deal with the conditional green card is that you have to go through another process. You have to file what's called a petition to remove the conditions of your green card. And at that point, generally speaking, the general process is to file together with your petitioning spouse. So together with your wife. Now, what happens if you are at the time where you need to file to remove the conditions for your 10-year green card and you're no longer with your wife, you're separated? So the good thing is that there is a way to do this yourself. Okay. So there is a way that you can file for your 10-year green card, meaning you can file the petition to remove the conditions on your green card by yourself without the help of your wife. You would be asking basically for a waiver of the joint filing, right? Remember, usually you have to file it together, that's generally speaking, but there's certain cases where certain situations where you can ask for a waiver of this joint filing and file it yourself. The waiver, if you guys are separated, then you most likely would file it based on divorce. If you're planning to file for divorce, what you would need to show is that you really intended to have a life together. The marriage was in good faith. However, due to personal reasons, the marriage is no longer working and you guys are currently separated. You would need a divorce decree in order to get the removal of conditions approved. But the most important thing is not to wait and not to miss the deadline of the 2 years. So if you're saying here that you need to file for the 10-year green card, make sure that you're not late. Consult with an immigration attorney if you need help, and I highly recommend it because this is kind of a complicated situation. And file on time, and there's different ways to do it. If you're separated, you're going to divorce, that's one of the ways. Okay, our number is here if you have any questions. We'd love to help you. Okay, I'm gonna take one more question, guys. Let's see. Okay. Question about citizenship. Can I apply for citizenship if I have a DUI on my record? Okay, this is actually also a common question that we get a lot. We see a lot. Folks coming for a consultation if they do have a DUI or any kind of criminal record or anything on their negative on the record. So the law says that in order to qualify for naturalization, that's the process of becoming a citizen, you have to show that you are lawfully admitted as a U.S. citizen, so that you are here, your green card is valid, and you're not deportable, and that you are a person of good moral character in the last 5 years. So there's only 2 of the requirements, but among all the requirements, those are 2 of them that kind of apply to any criminal record. So anyone that has any kind of criminal record, first we need to check, does this make you deportable? Does this risk your green card, right? So the good thing is DUI does not make you deportable, okay? One DUI with kind of no drugs involved, just alcohol, does not, generally speaking, does not make someone deportable. Now, what about good moral character? You have to show it's your burden that you're a person of good moral character with high standards, or with standards that are appropriate to the standards of the community in the last 5 years. So having any kind of negative, criminal matter or any kind of matter that is negative in the last 5 years, or any kind of unlawful act, could be detrimental to your citizenship application. Sorry, meaning it could affect your case. So the most conservative way would be to wait 5 years from the date of the DUI and apply after 5 years. The more conservative way. If you want to be very conservative, like when I say conservative, kind of like be sure that it won't affect it, then I would wait 5 years until you've completed probation. And if you really need to apply for naturalization, because maybe you want to petition your parents, or maybe you want to petition your spouse, or there's a reason why you need to become a US citizen fast, you can still apply for naturalization even if you have a DUI in the last 5 years. And it would be your burden to show that even though you do have an unlawful act in the last 5 years, there are exceptional circumstances that show that you are a good person of good moral character. Okay, so there's a way around it too. So to answer, that was a long, complicated answer, but you can apply for citizenship. It really depends on when the DUI was, how soon it was, or how long ago it was. The longer it was, if it was more than 5 years ago, you're probably fine. If it within the last 5 years, you have a chance to be denied naturalization, but it's not 100%. So it's not a complete bar for naturalization. And that's it. I hope I answered everyone's questions today. Thank you so much for those that jumped on for the call. And if you're watching the recording of this, hi and thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of jump here and learn a little bit more about immigration. I'm immigration attorney Yael. Please like and follow us for more immigration content. I'm here every week, so send me your questions or send us a DM, a private message, direct message, and we would love to help you. So until next week, have a wonderful week and stay safe. And I will see you guys all really soon.